I'm reaching out because I'm grappling with a significant dilemma. I've done something I shouldn't have, failing to restrain myself when it was crucial. I'm in my early 40s and got married 2 years ago. It's my husband's second marriage, while it's my first. I used to run my own business when I met him, my now husband. Although I've had a few relationships, my focus on work and passion for earning led me to miss the right time to settle down. I own a wholesale flower business. You know the early morning markets, right? That's where I work. My parents were in the floristry business, so I naturally learned the trade and now own a shop in a well-known wholesale flower market here. While others sleep, our shop buzzes with energy, supplying seasonal flowers. My husband was a regular customer at our shop, always shopping for flowers with his wife. They ran a local flower shop. Dealing with various people has honed my ability to gauge someone's character and virtues quickly. My husband was genuinely kind-hearted, treating his wife with immense care. We would often chat over a cup of tea after I wrapped their flowers. Since I work from dawn, I usually skip breakfast due to the hectic schedule. However, my husband's wife would sometimes bring me food that was easy to eat on the job, for which I was incredibly grateful. We even started exchanging messages like sisters. Then there came a time when only my husband started visiting. I noticed his cheerful demeanor had dimmed. When I asked if something was wrong, he shared, "My wife has cancer. We've been busy with her chemotherapy sessions." He was swamped, juggling the store and caring for his wife. A year passed, and I learned his wife had passed away. I visited the funeral to pay my respects and met his sons for the first time. They were handsome, inheriting traits from both parents. I was concerned for my husband, but hesitated to reach out, understanding the immense stress of losing a spouse. 2 weeks later, as spring arrived and the morning market was bustling again, he contacted me. "It's been a while since I've been in touch. Planning to visit the shop soon?" "Sure, visit whenever it's convenient. The prices are good, and we have a wide selection now." He came a few days later, visibly thinner, spotting the freesias, his wife's favorite, not yet bloomed. Tears welled up in his eyes, and he sat down, sobbing weakly. I offered him water to help him calm down. That day, he left empty-handed, unable to focus. Since most of my regular customers had already visited, I decided to take a selection of flowers to display at his shop. The owner's store was spotlessly clean. Since that day, we began to communicate more frequently. The owner was in his late 50s, a prime example of a well-kept gentleman with sharp features, a neat appearance, and a slender figure. As he reopened his store, he seemed to regain his strength. Sometimes, when he missed his wife, he would ask me to bring him flowers. I found myself increasingly concerned for him, reminiscent of the care his wife once showed me. I began bringing ingredients for him, moved by a comment he once made about struggling to prepare meals on his own. Although I wasn't skilled in cooking, I started trying recipes from the internet. To my surprise, I found myself deeply involved in caring for a widowed man, realizing my feelings for him went beyond customer service. I had always envied his wife, admiring their life, together raising children and successfully running a business. I longed for a relationship like theirs. Despite my growing feelings, I lacked the courage to approach him. Then, one evening, he invited me to dinner. For the first time, I got my hair and makeup done, swapping my usual casual wear for a dress. We dined at a restaurant overlooking the reservoir. He had something important to say, and to my heart's flutter, he asked, "Susan, will you go out with me?" It was the question I had hoped to ask. After that night, we were inseparable for 6 months. His wife had left him a will, saying, "It's okay to remarry someone you like after I'm gone. Stop thinking about me and enjoy your life." We quickly got married, and our life together was incredibly sweet. Having grown-up sons was a bit awkward, but they were good-hearted, especially the eldest, who was very handsome and shared his father's kind nature. On payday, he would give me an allowance, insisting I shouldn't refrain from treating myself, which was a generous and surprising gesture. The eldest worked at a mid-sized company and was in his late 20s, still single, but with some dating experience. We would close the shop on weekends to enjoy family outings, though the younger son often met with friends. I was of childbearing age but chose not to have children, considering my husband and the fact that it was time for his sons to have their own families. Our married life was generally smooth, but I began to notice my husband's too kind nature, which occasionally posed a problem. When I was working at the wholesale market, I didn't realize it, but my husband's gentle nature seemed to make the ladies there take a liking to him, even though they knew we were remarried. I started to feel uneasy as they paid close attention to him. My husband's inability to say no to salespeople was a flaw, especially he'd meet with insurance agents to merely discuss plans, but end up signing up for unnecessary policies, and he'd also come home with things we didn't need. This led to arguments between us. Our eldest son was the mediator in these situations. "Dad, stop trying to be so nice all the time. Because you're always smiling and laughing, people take advantage of you. Please, stop spending money needlessly and limit your interactions," he would advise. He mentioned that he and his mother used to argue about the same issue, emphasizing the problem was unnecessary spending. My eldest son was like a daughter to me. It's said, if you have 2 sons, one will act like a daughter. And he did, trying to get closer by sharing stories about his friends and what happened at work. I've lost touch with my close friends due to work. They're married with kids, while I've remained single and busy, only meeting them at funerals occasionally. I have a younger brother, but we're not close, so I didn't have anyone to confide in. However, my eldest son felt like an old friend, and I found myself increasingly relying on him. At times, I voiced my concerns about my husband, and our eldest son would take my side to a reasonable extent. However, my husband recently got himself into a significant predicament. Without saying a word, he dipped his hands into cryptocurrency. We were managing fine financially, but the real issue arose when he opened an overdraft account and withdrew a large sum of money to invest in crypto. After a major argument with him, I found myself cooling off at the playground near our house, contemplating why I ever remarried, feeling like a fool for living with a man who would do such a thing, as tears streamed down my face. That's when I heard, "Stepmom, why are you here? Your dad took out a big loan without telling me and bought crypto. It's been a few months and pulling out now would mean a huge loss," I explained. "One of Dad's friends made some money in stocks. Seems like he got Dad involved in this mess," he responded. "I feel like I'm just a shell in this household. Living like this is so stressful." Son suggested we go have a drink instead of staying there. At the local bar, we finally poured out our hearts. He listened to me attentively, Then he surprised me with, "Do you know why I haven't been dating anyone? I'm not sure. Is there someone you're interested in?" I asked. He took my hand. "It's because of you, stepmom. I know it's wrong, but I have feelings for you." I was astonished. The boy who chattered beside me like a daughter, like a friend, had feelings for me. We created a big secret that day. He was much healthier than his father, and we started seeing each other away from his father's eyes. Initially, I couldn't even look my husband in the eye, feeling guilty. But over time, I've become brazen, thinking, if he can sneak around spending money, why can't I do this much? I know our relationship isn't normal, but turning back from the feelings I have for my stepson seems impossible.